There it is.
And here we are
What is up, everyone?
at the inaugural live in the same room season recap.
Inaugural?
Unknown location.
Yeah.
Unknown location. You don't recognize the set.
You're not a true fan. Hey,
We're
how's
deep
everybody
underground.
doing? And just so off the top, we get it out there. We're taking calls from Discord. So if someone wants to get in the Discord,
We are. There's no obligations, no prior commitments, but you are more than welcome.
they're in the Discord. It's Funny Nut Theories on Discord. I don't know how you search different things, so
I think if you just type iSocial into chat, it'll put the Discord in there.
nice sweater, Jeremy.
Yeah.
It's her sweater.
Oh yeah, thank you, Lauren. You're
He didn't have merch on, and I was like, you got to wear something. And
much appreciated. You saved the day.
so I got Clayton's whack ass. No, I'm just kidding. This shirt's great, but look at this shit. Look at this.
Oh, hang on.
Oh, okay.
That one? There it is.
Go buy this. Go buy this right now. FunnyNutTheories.com.
Yeah, it's all right here. It's all overpriced, but it's the website's.
What are the
fault.
color options? I didn't realize you could get.
There are a bunch of different colors.
Yeah, of what?
I mean, just the hoodie, I guess.
I think there's like a few choices.
yeah,
Not that pink was not the obvious choice to get.
gray, black, white. Pink.
Okay, that's a lot.
Obviously,
A
I'm
few.
in the black one.
It's a lot.
Yeah, we have the black and the pink on set.
There's my water.
Oh, you can't see my titties on there. Ooh, it's a little. Let me live edit this real quick.
Live edit. It's the best.
So
Did you have a good
prepared,
Christmas, Jeremy?
I did have a good Christmas. Very low key. Very.
I feel like that's been everybody I've talked to. Everybody's like, I literally just chilled and ate a bunch of food. I'm like, yeah, I did the same exact thing.
Dude, that's what you want on Christmas.
Yeah.
man. Yeah, man. And New Year's. I didn't do shit for New Year's.
Didn't do shit on New Year's either.
I went and ate a shit ton of food.
Oh, but anyway, for the Discord, find the Discord. There's a channel called Open Discourse, which I'll try to be monitoring the whole time if anyone jumps in there. We're already in there.
What's up, everybody in the chat?
Law of One. Yes, Metaphysical Hour AM.
Holy.
So this is the season recap, and a lot of the episodes.
Do you not have to like admit them or something? What are they highlighting? No, it's just
This
calling
first
them
time
out.
chat. So we did 10 episodes? 11?
We've done 11. Jeebus, I'm so sorry. We were told not to touch the table. Yeah, we've done 11 episodes so far, this being the 12th.
Yeah, but of the 11, probably like 6, 7, 8 of them went to, all ended up in like the Law of One as far as,
I don't know, that might be the common variable is me. I keep trying to tie it back into it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um.
Which
So-
is just interesting.
Yeah. Let's recap what the episodes were.
There we go.
They're
Okay.
available on YouTube except for episode 1 because we didn't back it up.
Yeah, episode 1
download.
got lost to the ether somehow because we were, I guess, not as diligent
Drink
as we
one for
thought.
episode 1.
Yeah, pour one out. But episode 1 was UFOs. We talked about UFO conspiracy, stuff like that. I kind of went into more esoteric stuff, thinking they're, bigger than they were. I'm sure we'll get back into it, but to
Yeah.
keep moving.
In that episode, I kind of focused on it seemed the occurrences, a high amount of occurrences of UFOs centered around nuclear
Yeah,
missile sites, and that was right when all the news articles were coming out of Ukraine and Russia and the possibilities of nuclear war, World War III or whatever.
I had some more notes on that too. I wanted to definitely elaborate on, which we're going to do, but to list the episodes, right?
Yeah. Well, we
Episode
can give a short recap of each one. So
Okay.
what was 2?
Okay. Episode 2 was War on Drugs, which again, I would have tied it back into the spiritual piece, right? The Law of One stuff, all that. You don't know where I'm going with that.
I mean, it's just a leap.
The war on drugs, yeah,
it's
because
the
I'm trying to think like,
suppression
are
of
you-
those substances. They don't want you out there branching and exploring. And...
Okay, that's the sentence I was looking for.
Okay, there
Yeah.
you go.
And I guess like we can also kind of recap our how we approach these things, because I always kind of take like the because like on the war on drugs, I was like, all right, where did it start in government as far as the United States?
Yeah.
And,
probably with marijuana.
yeah, and so we recapped all that, but like my mindset going in was the actual suppression, and yours is like the why they would suppress it.
Yeah. But yeah.
And Drake just, finds a bunch of funny nut facts and bounces around both ideas.
I try. I'm really open-minded, so I try to just see both sides.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is
And I just have to comment on the chat real quick. Papa Lothman, we need a rerun of episode 1 for those who missed it. It's me. I'm those. Yeah, it's all right. We definitely want to do something about that. We just haven't figured it out yet, but
Yeah, there were talks of doing like episode 11.5 and shit for that, but
we'll recover UFOs because they're popping. I mean, there's thousands of
I don't think UFOs are going away. I think we're going to have
Sightings.
several more episodes dedicated to UFOs alone, for sure.
well,
Yeah.
and like everything that we go through on this list, it seems like every time we do an episode, the week after, I find a bunch more shit that I didn't find before the episode went live.
Yeah.
Yes, dude, absolutely.
Don't bang the tape.
I didn't mean to bring the table. I'm sorry.
But yeah, so what's episode 3?
Episode 3 was Ancient Civs, right? So that's right when
That's 3 and 4 then.
3 and 4, yeah. Part 1, Part 2, 3
Yeah.
and 4.
That's kind of where we started really tying everything back into like after 3 and 4, everything kept coming back to 3 and 4 as far as like civilization restarting and even into like the metaphysical of like where did humans come from. That all snowballs into like the same topic.
It was right around the same time that Graham Hancock was really getting more and more popular. He was promoting his Netflix series and stuff like that. So I don't know what it was that caught my attention with him, because he's been around again since like the 90s and stuff like that. So
Yeah.
I don't know what it was that brought it forth to me that started making me pay attention to it before, because I never paid attention to ancient aliens or anything like that. Like I always heard stories of like,
Yeah.
oh, there's UFOs in the Bible and stuff like that. But I was like, oh, that's hocus pocus. But going through it through the new light of like an ancient civ, like I was going way off the deep end, saying ancient civ could possibly mean more than tens of thousands of years. It could be hundreds of thousands, if not millions of years, ancient civilizations that are exploring the galaxy, right?
Yeah.
So that was a big pivot, I think. Not a pivot, but that was kind of like a bigger episode, right?
Well, and I
2-part episode.
I guess I came into that. It may have been when Graham Hancock was first on Joe Rogan, but I switched my major to geography so I could have a minor in archaeology.
Yeah.
When I kind of stumbled upon that and wrote all my papers as like antagonistic to what the prompt was, like explain people coming through the Bering Strait or whatever, and I was like, there is ample evidence that people made it to South America before they did North America, and they're like, you're not gonna get a very good grade, and I'm like, what?
You should probably stop there.
It's all cited, you ass.
It's pretty crazy because there seemed to be a conspiracy behind that too, about them suppressing it, not wanting that kind of information to be prominent or contrary, or contesting what they already thought was in place.
I mean, even still today, there's like a noticeable block on science and whether they're willing to like kind of change what everyone's taught in school, even to the effect of like some of the things that have been proven or are being proven. You're being taught something that is directly in conflict with findings of the current day.
Yeah.
And I think about like how many history books don't have a bunch of stuff that we actually need to learn about. Like, for example, like I was watching a World War II documentary on Netflix the other day, and they were going heavy into like the methamphetamine that they were giving the Germans, the Nazis and all that, to make them go fight for 3 days in a row and just not get tired.
Yeah, no,
and it would dull them out, and it would make them like the perfect soldier.
I've heard the anecdote where Hitler was talking to Mussolini, I think, who wanted to, or was thinking about pulling out of World War II, whatever, but Hitler was so speedballed out that he wouldn't stop talking, and he wore him down. It may not have been Mussolini, it may have been someone else, but to the extent that, yeah, the Nazis were definitely like, hey, soldiers, do math.
I never heard that once in school.
Yeah.
Never once, like with like Vietnam, with all the drugs that were involved with that. That ties into episode 2.
Oh yeah, we went through the Vietnam stuff on
A little bit.
War on Drugs one.
I think so, because it goes into like weather warfare and all kinds of.
Yeah, because it was Nixon. Nixon was making money off of that gangster who was running drugs in Vietnam, and they were suppressing marijuana in like pushing opiates or heroin. So a lot of people came back from Nam addicted to heroin.
Yep. I got you.
So that was War on Drugs, and then Ancient Civ, and then we did 5 and 6 for both social media.
Yes.
We did 2 episodes on that.
Well, yeah, we were first off we started with 1, and then at the end of the episode we're like, oh shit, we could go for another.
Well, and so that was spurred on by, and this is gonna get back to like we're gonna have to revisit everything, because that we did those after the DHS leaks.
Yeah, it was in...
After that, Twitter files come out. We kind of haven't even touched it. I've been barely paying attention, but they're doing it in a way where it's like all kind of low grade building. This is all evil, and really it's all receipts. I haven't seen anything that was like bombastically Twitter was doing this, where people didn't already kind of think they were doing that, or the involvement with the government agencies as well, similar to what everyone thought was going on. But it's all receipts, so no one gets all hyped about it.
I mean, I don't understand that. Receipts would be the same thing as evidence, right?
Yeah, but the social climate is working in a way that before the receipts come out, if you go, hey, absolutely, government agencies are influencing and working with these social media companies to actively fight against the First Amendment, and even to extent like the Fourth, the unreasonable search and seizure. I think that's Fourth. And so they're like, they can get so much data off these social media websites that like, is that reasonable amounts of search and seizure if they don't expect you of a crime yet? To the extent like NSA and the Patriot Act, they can just follow you doing whatever you want to do. But socially, you're a crazy person. Then the receipts come out, and all the people who just called you a crazy person are like, we already knew that was happening. But you, being the crazy person, are sitting there going, no, you called me a crazy person. Here's the receipts. You don't get to act like nothing's happening still.
Yeah.
And that's just the way things are being slowly eroded, is it's like, no, you're a conspiracy theorist. No, look, it's happening. We absolutely 100% confirmed it's happening. And they go, yeah, we knew it was happening. You're still nuts. Why do you care so much?
Mind-blowing. I don't know. It seems like a cop-out. Anyway, we also talked about the algorithm and stuff like that too, right?
Ooh, wait, here we go.
Have you guys heard of Stephen Greer and his Close Encounters of the Fifth Kind?
I have seen that documentary. It's basically an intentional...
Oh, yes.
meditation.
Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you. I've watched a little bit of it too.
Stephen Greer is the same guy who found the 4-inch alien thing that they were having tested.
Yeah, he's like almost blacklisted
skeleton
in the community.
See the doctor that looks like he's obviously on steroids?
I don't think he's on steroids.
He wears
no.
like polos and he keeps them up, and you can see the huge vein in his bicep. Okay, maybe he's
Like
just
Snake from The Simpsons.
maybe he's just in really good shape.
Google a picture of him.
You're
but
right. That is what the computer is here for.
no, I think he, if my knowledge serves me right, he is almost blacklisted. But I'm pretty sure he did a Joe Rogan episode,
Yes,
and
he did.
that helped his career a lot.
I think there's also a Stephen Greer that tested. Yeah, this is exactly what I was talking about.
Is he the guy that came
Yeah.
out
Okay.
and said,
Yeah. You're right. Yeah.
There was somebody that came out recently that's like, they're real and they can be contacted if you try it, but you shouldn't because it's super dangerous or something like that.
Yeah, this is the guy who's running the meditations on like talking to them. And I'm like 50-50 on him. I'm half skeptical and half like, all right, I'll listen to you. Like,
Yeah.
if he came out with a new video, I would watch it.
Yeah.
I paid to watch that little 4-inch alien skeleton thing. It was somewhat convincing.
I think he also proved something else. Damn it! It's been a minute since I've looked on anything he's done.
But yeah, he's an interesting guy.
But yeah, that what he just said in the chat, the
when we
Close Encounters of the Fifth Kind. I think that's on Netflix.
when we redo the UFO, someone should deep dive on him. I'm willing to do it.
I can go again on it because I remember looking into him, but
Yeah. There's also a Dr. Stephen Greer who tested the dust from 9/11 and found thermite in it.
Is that the same guy?
gotta save it. You gotta save
no,
that.
It's a different guy, yeah.
Don't blow that one off yet. You gotta.
Oh, pun intended.
Oh.
So what episode was that and what are we going to? That was social media, so
Social media.
what's after that?
JFK.
We did talk about the algorithm and stuff like that, which I think we were hinting at simulation theory, but we didn't get to that too much later.
Well, we kind of got a lot of. Let's go into that a little bit because we got a lot of more pushback than I expected we would get
On the algorithm?
on the intent behind these social media companies, like whether they're malintent or whether it's just a byproduct of capitalism or them trying to keep your attention.
Caught a lot of flack.
Because I think that the Twitter files were some of the receipts that validated my point in that they're not just giving you a blanket algorithm. They're intently messing with it. They're taking people out of it. They're putting people in it. They're deciding what is being presented.
I agree.
And so we kept trying to use a guitar algorithm, but it really doesn't work because it almost is all political influence or political philosophies in a way. So it's almost here, I'll put the analogy this way. We were trying to put it towards guitars, but really it's guitars and violins.
Okay.
And they're taking the music algorithm and they're taking away some of the guitars and boosting some of the violins and affecting the social framing in that guitars aren't cool, violins are cool. People should look at violins, not guitars.
Yeah.
But there was a lot of argumentation in chat on that episode as far as that.
I think there was I don't know if it was an argument, but there was a distinction to make that there was like a natural organic thing that was doing what it was supposed to do. And I think that was some of the pushback. It's like the algorithm's just doing whatever you're feeding into it. And I was getting into capitalism, all that stuff. Like, of course, that's what capitalism is designed to do. If you just sit there and input, it's only going to give you positive reinforcement, all of that.
And Facebook 100% knows, just to put them on blast, like whose pictures and whose posts you want to see. So like it's anytime I get on there, it's always showing me what anyone in my family has posted and like close friends or especially like posts from people I've liked before. It'll definitely always show me them. And then I'll like notice if someone, and on Instagram, kind of the same thing. It's like, it'll pop those stories up at the top. And it's like, every day you watch this person's story and this person's story. Mm-hmm. And
so it'll collate your feed with more of that person. Mm-hmm. But there's a guy, Luke, his website is like Luke We Are Change or something, .org or something. He's got a weird European last name. He's on the Tim Pool
Peter
podcast every night. No,
Tim Pool.
Yeah, but I'm talking about Luke Gridkowski.
Oh, Luke,
who is like really far libertarian and like goes out of his way to point out the shitty things in the government. Like he tries to ambush what is it where you interview. He tries to interview politicians that people don't pick out of the crowd or like billionaires and be like, you did this fucking sketchy thing. Why'd you do that? And they go, please don't talk to me. Why are you talking to me? And so I like his stuff, but he on Instagram got like, they didn't kick him off, but they went, we're not sharing your stuff with anybody. So they're going to have to like click your page and go find it. And also they can't like search your page very easily. They're going to have to like find a friend of a friend and go find you.
Dang.
And so that's just to the extent that I think they're messing with the algorithm.
Well, yeah.
And Zuck admitted it with the Hunter Biden
but
laptop.
To the extent that they're doing it, they can't hide that they're doing that to him. But all the stuff they can hide, they're more than willing to hide as far as what they're adjusting.
I think people just need to be educated about what it's doing and be very aware of what information they're putting on the internet. If you're putting something on the internet, I think it's free game.
Yeah.
That's the way I look at it.
Yeah.
So if you're not wanting somebody to know something or the government not to know something, then don't put it on social media in any format, or even save it to a device that's linked to the internet.
I'm saying if you don't want the government to know what you're doing, don't be on the internet.
For sure.
Avoid a phone. A phone number. Would you guys be interested in doing a squad stream with us? Your channel is the first to talk about similar topics we are interested in. We are a couple from Victoria, Canada, and also promoting our perspective. Hell yeah, dude.
That's pretty crazy.
Hit us up. However you like to talk to people, you can do it through Twitch, through Instagram, through Twitter.
We have an email, funnynuttheories@gmail.com.
Yeah.
Any way like that, hit us up. We'll talk back.
All the above. Wherever you find us, you send us a DM. We'll definitely hook that up. That sounds real fun.
For sure.
I'm very interested in some Canadian
oh yeah
perspectives. I'm gonna have to brush up on my Law 1 stuff for sure.
Me too.
But Canada's cracking down a little harder than America. It's almost like Australia during COVID was kind of a surprise how far they like really strapped down.
Can I just say that Canadian humor in a lot of ways kind of beats our humor right now in America?
Oh no, yeah, no.
Like, dude, no. Canadian shows are so fucking funny.
Norm Macdonald was Canadian. Rick Moranis is Canadian. I think John Candy was.
Are you saying that? Never mind.
I'm just saying, Letterkenny and Trailer Park Boys are two perfect examples.
Yeah. No. To Canada.
I'm intrigued.
I'm just saying.
All right. So what's the next topic?
So it was moving into November. We did JFK.
Mm-hmm. That was kind of an obligatory.
Yeah, we just kind of brushed over the whole
for the anniversary
official story and a little bit of what we think. But like I put that reel on Instagram today, and
you can lean back here.
Oh, okay, cool. Yeah. I didn't know how well it picked me up. But putting that reel on Instagram today, and I kind of told them we would do the whole month of November as JFK, which we'd already talked about and everything. But
yeah, and then September will probably be 9/11.
I'm down with that.
This upcoming year. And then if any other like when was MLK assassinated? Because his assassination warrants 2 episodes.
That day is King Day has been like a week or two.
I don't think that's when he was assassinated.
Yeah, but his day's coming up. I know that for sure.
I think it's his birthday. JFK. Wait.
No, Martin Luther King.
Yeah, because we found that I found some information on that when we went through the JFK. So he was assassinated on April 4th.
Dude,
my dad was born 22 days later. 24 days later.
I keep doing it. Dang it. MLK's got a book, The Mysterious Origins of Religion or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And the book I'm keep referencing, The Sacred Mushroom and the Cross, he's like talking about the same stuff in that book. Like he thinks that Christianity was like one of the mushroom cults, and it's like all like.
Oh man, someone I was just listening to reference that book.
It's MLK.
No, I wasn't watching MLK.
No, I'm saying it's his book.
Right.
It's probably that same podcast I was sharing.
Someone explained it as he was one of like a council of people that got to decipher the Dead Sea Scrolls.
MLK?
No, the guy who wrote the book that you're reading. Oh, and he was in the clergy, and by the time he was done researching the Dead Sea Scrolls or translating them, he was not religious anymore, and he went, this and all the religions that came of it are all an allegory for fertility rituals and doing mushrooms.
I guess I haven't gotten that far in
Expanding
the
your
book,
consciousness.
and I
Heavy,
didn't know
bro. That's
that.
heavy.
I didn't know that going into the book.
So the guy who wrote it is actually very interesting. We should probably look that up too. What is the name of the book called again?
Yeah,
Sacred
put
Mushroom and
3
the
in your
Cross.
Amazon cart right now. Oh no, he has it. Put 2.
The Sacred Mushroom and the Cross?
Yeah.
Oh, look, you can get a PDF online probably. Terrence McKenna.
But I'd rather
and
hold it.
his brother's name is Dennis McKenna, who's been on Joe Rogan.
He didn't write
Everyone
it,
on
did
Earth has been on Joe Rogan except for us.
he? Terrence McKenna didn't write this book.
I think his brother Dennis did.
No. It's probably just referencing him.
Oh no, John M. Allegro.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, you're right.
So was Jesus just like tripping hardcore one day and was like, "Drink my blood"?
No,
eat my
Jesus
skin"?
never existed. He was
Oh.
he was the mushroom secret that they were
So-
passing down.
What did they do on the cross?
The whole story was
I'll
made
just
up
go read it.
to preserve their mushroom cult ritual.
Side tangent. Who got crucified upside down?
I don't know that.
Probably many
That's like Game
people.
of Thrones shit or something.
No,
Crucifying people
it
was
was
like a big
something
thing
from the
back then.
Bible. It doesn't matter. What was the next episode?
That was JFK.
Nikola Tesla.
And then episode 8 was Tesla.
Oh, that was a fun one. That's kind of when
Peter.
was requested to be crucified upside down. Okay.
Oh my God.
So
he
Nikola
requested-
Tesla is when we really started hitting the Law of One stuff and tying ancient Civ into it, and
Mm-hmm.
kind of getting down to the metaphysics of reality.
So we focused on Tesla, about the current wars, about his rivalry with Edison, all that stuff we touched on, which you kind of have to when you're talking about Tesla.
His mysterious death.
His mysterious death, some of his inventions that are coming like prominent now, that like he's only like, I don't know, like the Tesla car, like he had the concept for like
Yeah.
100 years ago, but it's just now.
No, I tried way too hard to explain how electricity works, to explain the battle between AC and DC currents.
Yeah.
And that's some knowledge. Like in school, I would study and I would take the test and it would all disappear and it didn't matter. But I was like, oh my God, electricity's a wave around the wire.
Definitely a learning curve on that one for sure about the electricity.
That was a fun one to research.
Researching that one, you kind of discovered more about Tesla and about the 369 and about his personal beliefs and
Yeah, and
ether and-
specifically, I latched onto his quote where he said, "I'm but an antenna," or something like that. We're all
Yeah.
antennas for the knowledge of the universe, or something.
yeah,
Is that buzzing really loud in the?
it's not
No,
that bad.
I was just watching you, honestly. That's nice.
That's worse.
And so that got me. I tried to latch onto that quote, and I found the Akashic Record, which I think is the next episode.
Hold on.
What's up?
Was Lil Jon referencing sacred geometry in the intro of Get Low?
369.
Hey, Lil Jon's onto some knowledge right there.
Maybe the East Side Boys is a glimpse.
What's
into
the next line in the song?
the deep ancient
369,
knowledge?
damn, she fine.
No, talk it to me one more
yeah,
time.
I think 369 has to do with the golden ratio too, so that's more hilarious.
Oh yeah, no, it's in the Fibonacci sequence.
Yeah.
Maybe
funny.
East Side Boys is a reference to like the deep ancient knowledge that the cultures of the East
That's hilarious.
maintained in their isolationism.
It-
Probably
absolutely,
not. Probably not.
Booty shaking.
Put that on Wikipedia.
So yeah, that led us into the Akashic Records, which I had never heard of before the Tesla episode where you introduced it to me. So we kind of deep dived into that and what all that meant, which we're gonna have to do a refresher on because that was
That was a lot.
that was the deep end.
And actually, that episode led to my New Year's resolution to meditate more.
Wow, then kudos, like good job us. We did.
I think in like episode 3,
Yeah.
I don't really get into the woo woo shit.
Mm-hmm.
And by the Akashic Record, I was like, I'm gonna give this woo woo shit a try. Also, I saw a buffalo and a nuclear warhead, and I also saw something else, and I referenced it in the Akashic Record episode when I was meditating, because I was explaining I was just really watching eyelid movies with the Akashic YouTube videos playing or whatever. So, if anything in this next year involves a buffalo and a nuclear warhead, I predicted it in some manner.
Well, I hope that doesn't because
I also hope it doesn't.
I don't want to deal with either of those.
But it was kind of a cathartic feeling. Because I hit this place, I explained this to Adam on the Rolling Third on Sunday or whatever, where I was like not asleep but not awake, but I wasn't whatever the dreaming is where you can do whatever you want to.
Lucid dreaming?
Lucid dreaming.
Yeah, I wasn't lucid dreaming, but my brain was working.
It's not like sleep paralysis, but
And I was having thoughts, but I was no longer attached to my body. Like none of these sensors were picking up anything, or I was just totally not paying attention, and almost
like
to where
you
it felt
can-
like I was asleep until my wife hit me on the
You're like-
leg and I freaked the fuck out.
it's
Were you,
like the
floating above your body.
No.
it's like the boundary of your body like evaporates. It's like it expands.
Yeah, I think like sensory deprivation tanks.
Yeah.
I think it felt like laying in one of those because I was like, I was awake, I was thinking,
Hmm.
I was watching the things,
It's a crazy feeling.
and then my wife touched me on the leg, and I went, "What the like?" Because I wasn't feeling anything,
It's a very crazy feeling like it's like I don't.
and I enjoyed that, and I think I'd like to meditate more. Just if that is what meditation is, that was pretty cool. I enjoyed that.
I'm not claiming to be an expert, Drake.
Oh no! When I was rewatching, I guess it was the Akashic record. When I was rewatching it,
What's the golden ratio of dead ass?
when I was rewatching it, I kind of mentioned that I think I said I've never meditated, but I take that back. I have, but not to the degree of getting to
Okay.
the Akashic record.
Yeah.
But I've definitely done like mini, minor, just sit there and just like breathe and
Yeah.
find your like safe place or like whatever you consider your happy place.
Well, and the hardest thing that I found, I always have to have like something playing.
Mhm.
Like if I'm sitting there doing something that doesn't require me to talk to people, something has to be playing.
I
in my
got
ear.
you. Yeah, I got you.
I think it's like I'm way overly stimulated that I have to maintain that overstimulation.
You put on The Office, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Do you have do you
But
sleep with a fan?
no, I sleep with earbud in playing a
Oh,
YouTube video.
That's fucked. You're
Dude.
gonna
My
What
wife
the-
won't sleep with
brain
the fucking
cancer.
TV on.
You shouldn't sleep with TV. Never mind.
No, you probably shouldn't. I'm probably wrong, but that's how I live my life. And so unplugging to the extent that I mean I was still playing like a YouTube music that was actually titled Akashic Record.
Yeah.
880 hertz or whatever. It didn't matter. That was just I found it difficult to turn my thoughts off. Like to stop trying to think, and that's why I started watching I think
YouTube.
they're called phosphenes.
Oh.
The rainbow colored shapes you see when you close your eyes.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, I'm gonna focus on those so I can stop my brain moving, and then we'll go from there. And then it was a gateway to like stop thinking about anything,
That's cool.
which is probably why I felt like I was in between asleep and not, because I wasn't thinking about anything, because that
Yeah.
is not how I function.
It's a strange feeling for sure.
I play YouTube videos while I'm playing video games. Like I gotta have two forms of
I could do
Entertainment.
That. I could see that.
yeah.
I'll listen to music, play Rocket League. I'm the same way. Like I can't, if I'm sitting awake, I can't have it silent. Like I'll go crazy. Like I'll lose my shit. I've told my boss that one day, and he was like, "Oh, I completely understand. Like I'm the same way." I was like, "Oh, you're one of me." But if I'm
You're one of
if I'm
me.
going to sleep, like I have a fan in my ear, and like I can't. It's almost like noise cancellation at that point. Like all I hear is white noise.
Oh, okay.
I have the TV on every fucking night. It don't matter.
Yeah, my wife won't fall asleep with the TV. That's how I grew up. And so we started living together. And I just started having a headphone in. I'll fall asleep with a YouTube video.
That seems so bizarre.
And now I like,
Can you not just like have a tablet or something off to the side and you just fall asleep to that compared to like a earbud in your ear?
no, because it has to be
Completely
silent for her. Yeah.
Just kick her out of bed. No, I'm
right?
just kidding.
No, sometimes I'll sleep on the couch because my headphones are dead.
Forgot to charge them.
So those are Akashic Records.
Yeah. What's after that?
Episode 10 was simulation theory.
Okay. Yeah, we tried to explain quantum physics.
I think we
I
did
did not.
quantum physics back like in Tesla or something like that. We did that way before.
Or the Akashic record, yeah.
No, simulation theory was definitely a lot. That was another one that kind of surprised us, right? Like we got into it and then we found out we had more than we thought we did. But that, I don't know, that seems to me like one of those inevitable outcomes. Like if you are in a simulation, it doesn't really matter. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was a fun one too. We'll get back on that one. For
No,
sure.
I think what I enjoyed the most about that episode was like the concept of superposition and the concept of like if it is a simulation, then you don't have to render the entirety of the universe at any given time. That it just has to be what is being recorded that is being rendered
Dude,
or sensed.
there was this guy I found maybe like a year ago. His name was Pradeep. I can't remember his last name, but that was his name. And he was like in this shitty YouTube video, like with a whiteboard explaining like we needed to throw science out the window, or at least like take a step back from it, saying, hey, like we have to reevaluate how we think of science because of relativity. It's like there's no objective, like there's only subjective. He's like, if you look through it, the scientific method is flawed. Like you were missing out on 50% of the outcomes. Just because you're not observing it doesn't mean you can't not count those, right?
Okay.
And so he was taking
Hang on. Let me.
Okay.
In my effort to understand what you just said, I want to repackage it in a different way.
Okay.
In the sense of what I said, as far as if it's not being rendered, as in like someone's not looking at it or hearing it or sensing it in some manner, that it's not happening. He's saying, and that ties into superposition, which is the definition of like atoms are only in a space if you look in the space for the atom.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of, it all goes back to that
Subjective
the
experience.
slit test, the double slit test or whatever.
Yeah.
And so he's saying if you're not taking that into account in your scientific studies, then you're only studying half of it.
Right. Well, you're missing part of the equation.
Yeah.
There's a whole other reality that you're
Because
just,
you're only taking account for what you measured.
what you can measure tangibly.
Yeah.
And that he's saying that's just one filter of reality. So if you're only measuring this small slither of reality, then there could be other dimensions that we're not even looking at, right?
Yeah.
That's the idea. My point was saying that he's taking that logic and putting it into quantum computing and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
And saying he could I'm gonna butcher it, but he's saying he could program the computer to tell you the molecular makeup of whatever he put into the computer. So if he put like my iPhone in the computer, he could tell you the position of every electron, not just the position, but the 10 possible positions for each individual electron. And then how many, that's billions and billions and billions of possibilities. Point being, he could reconstruct your iPhone from the quantum state in this computer. You don't even need the iPhone anymore. He's got the quantum version of it. Down to the, like you could 3D print it all day using electrons. He did that, and I think he got some kind of grant, and he's got a bunch of patents for the quantum computers. And there's this Stanford professor that claims he has UFO parts. He's like, these are parts from the UFO. Put these in your quantum computer and tell me.
Oh.
I wonder how those weren't
And
like
tell me
taken
what
by
they're
the
made of?
fucking
Yeah.
CIA.
This came up like last week in my YouTube feed, and I remembered that guy from a year ago talking about rewriting science and all this stuff.
It's
And
not-
then now he just pops up going, "Hey, I'm putting up UFO bits into my supercomputer." I'm like,
Well, like Bob Lazar,
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
likes to wink that he took something from the lab, and that's why he gets raided by the cops every so often.
"Yeah,
And,
Why would he wink at that, man? That'd
and
be
so
dumb.
I'm like borderline 50-50 on Bob Lazar, but he had a lot of things that he said were in the 80s and then were in a public, like the military is 50 years ahead of us.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So
Maybe
in the-
not. I feel like they're 100, dude.
So in the 80s, he was saying they have this and we didn't have it until the 2000s. But he also said there's a, what was it? Element 115, 117 or
C1
something.
I thought it was like C150. No, that's what he just said earlier. I can't remember. I know what
Yeah.
you're talking about. I thought it was like element 115 or something.
Yeah,
like
I think it is element 115.
15.
And then every scientist at the time went, "You're a fucking idiot." And then another scientist went, "No, theoretically this is possible." And then they made it, but it only lasted like a third of a second because it's not stable in our atmosphere or something like that. But he was like, "No, they have a stable version, and it is the fuel of their whatever the fuck." And so he's got a lot of things where you can go, "Oh, that's kind of real." But what were you just saying right before that? Because I was trying to tie Bob Lazar into it.
Pretty.
Oh, he has a piece of the spaceship.
yeah.
Spaceship.
So there's a different guy saying he has a piece.
Dude, apparently there's several people that are claiming they have UFO bits, but that makes it even more implausible to me. But
I just want to see one.
It's just like metallic looking shards that
Yeah.
There's another video interview I watched. I'm glad we're doing UFOs again because that seems to be the most prominent thing I've been watching. But there's this one channel I've been watching. I think his name's Jesse something. But American Alchemist. I think I sent you one of his videos.
Maybe.
Him and do you remember Eric Weinstein?
Yeah, with the brother Brett.
Brett and Eric
Which one's
Weinstein.
which?
So I don't remember which one's which, but I'm gonna go with Brett was the biologist and Eric was the mathematician.
Okay, stop tapping the table. Yes.
So Brett, I'm gonna touch on that too because we didn't get into this. We didn't actually do Big Pharma. We didn't do Big Pharma. What the fuck?
series 2.
We got a little bit into it on the war on drugs, but we didn't.
So he was the guy that came out and said that the super mouses were like all cancer research is just thrown out the window.
That was Brett.
Brett.
Yes.
That's worth touching on. I don't know if you want to save that for later, but
yeah, we'll do that in the Big Pharma episode.
His brother Eric is a mathematician. He does like geometry and stuff, and he was a huge like.
Let me pause you. Another side tangent of Big Pharma is they didn't start testing drugs on how they affect men and women until like the 70s.
Differently.
Yeah, and they were like,
pretty crazy.
This lady is complaining because the painkillers aren't working. I think she's just whining, and it's like, damn, dog, that's maybe they have different bodily functions that we should be aware of. Anyway,
that blows my mind, dude.
Eric Weinstein.
But does it, honestly? You know, like
Eric Weinstein. He's like a mathematician, right? And he was a big hardcore skeptic. He didn't believe in any of the nonsense. He didn't like. He was firmly against aliens. He's like, it's just the military fucking off us. I don't know.
Yeah.
But this guy, this American Alchemist guy, like they teamed up somehow or something. They're doing interviews together of other people. And he's got him convinced. He's like, the arguments that you're putting forth, he's like, you've got me swayed back to the way I didn't think I would go. And it's that this is happening. These are real.
Well, and every time I hear Eric Weinstein talk, I think he's probably the smartest person on earth.
So he was asking the most logical questions you could. So they went to the guy that's responsible. There's somebody between the president and UFO realm. Like he's the guy that says this is probably happening. Or like, I don't know his name. He's like pretty far up.
Okay.
They interviewed him.
Let's pretend it's Donald Rumsfeld.
I think it's like Phil something.
Spectre.
Phil Spectre. No, I'm not doing Phil Spectre. God. I think his name's Phil. But
Phil of the future. That
Eric is like straight up asking. He's like, either they know about, if assuming it's the military, he's like, either they have some unknown physics that they're withholding from the physics community. And if that's the case, we're revolting tomorrow because that's can't happen.
Yeah.
So either the government's holding on to this piece of physics, science, not letting people know, or they have some material that they're backwards engineering. And the guy straight up goes, oh, that's the case. 100%. I was like, this is blowing my mind. Like,
yeah, you just proved Bob Lazar right, dog.
like you just said Lockheed Martin has alien ship parts and are backwards engineering it to do whatever the fuck they want.
Well, and the scariest part of that is if it is Lockheed Martin, they're not.
That's who he named.
They're tied in the government through grants, not through any, like, we're part of the government.
Oh, yeah.
They just get their money from the government.
Private. Right.
They get money, like, government grants, probably all that money that no one knows where it goes. It goes to Lockheed Martin. I mean, Halliburton, after 9/11, got no bid construction contracts. Okay, and Dick Cheney is on the board of Halliburton and doesn't have to not be while being vice president. So he's making the decision, let's go blow the shit out of Afghanistan off some bullshit rumors.
Yeah.
And my company will get no bid contract. I didn't understand this until I was in construction, the effect of no bid. It means...
Just walk in, right?
Normal projects, every little company will bid on every little part that has to be done. So, like, the roofers will put their bid in, and there's 10 roofing companies, and you take the best bid. Whether it's the best price or their guarantee of when they'll get it done, or whatever the hell. Best
deal.
What they're going to use, their resources, whatever. And so there's, like, probably 100 to 1,000 companies that are all going to bid on a project. But Halliburton, to rebuild Afghanistan, went... Well, we're going to do it all, and you're going to pay whatever the fuck we ask you because you're not giving it to anybody else. You're not opening it to anybody else, which, in 2001, I'm 9, 10, 11 when this is going on.
Yeah.
Being 30, I'm like, what the fuck?
It seems like an obvious
understand how
red
this
flag.
runs now. This is crazy.
And they paid when he stepped down from Halliburton. That's how you say it, right?
Mhm.
When he stepped down from being the owner or the CEO,
Whatever he was.
yeah, whatever he was, they paid him. I think it was like 3 or more million, and then I need to look this up again to make sure I'm exactly right, but I think they paid him about roughly 3 mil, and then he invested it into the Iraq war and became a fucking billionaire out of it.
Yeah. No, I mean, it's the same thing with the...
What other vice president is a billionaire?
Yeah, well, the Larry Silverstein, who wasn't technically involved in government, but had just gotten he was leasing the Twin Towers. He had just gotten it like a year before, and had just gotten like a health department thing of like, you're gonna have to empty these buildings for 5 years so you can pull all the asbestos out of it.
The Twin Towers?
Both of them. And went, fuck. And then got an insurance, like $1 billion, $500 million, I don't know.
How much did the Twin Towers cost?
Some insane insurance policy on them with a clause that is like 10x if they get hit if it's a terrorist attack. And then that happens, and he goes to court to get double the claim because it was 2 different buildings. And wins. So he probably spent $10 million to make $1 billion and just giggled his way to the bank on 9/11. Whatever closest one hadn't been hit by a fucking plane, I mean.
Him and many others.
Yeah.
That's
Well, and there's also the 9/11 episode is going to be really fun because there's also a lot of like inconspicuous, like, oh, we canceled our flight that day. Oh, our entire company didn't go into the office that day.
how many people do you think have that like on a chalkboard somewhere with red string and pictures and like this guy was a part of it?
Yeah. What is Charlie doing? And,
Yeah.
there is no. What is the name?
I can't remember.
Like conveniently not being on the flight. Is that what you said?
Or they
in the
had
building?
to change their flight, or in the
Like J.P. Morgan supposed to be on the Titanic and then wasn't.
yeah, exactly, yeah.
Anyway.
Well, and then there's here's one we should do also, that the Titanic was actually not the Titanic.
Bartender.
Dude, we could do a whole episode of JP Morgan now. He's getting tied back into Epstein shit.
Oh yeah, okay.
Look at that hat. Look at that.
Let's try
hat.
pull-
That hat's amazing.
Oh, hang on.
I'm out of
See if
drink.
you can read it from this camera.
I'm glad I segued that.
No, you can't. It says Jeffrey Epstein didn't kill himself. I actually pulled up an article for this. Hopefully, I can bring it up in a timely manner. That was loud.
Oh.
Big gulps, huh?
Getting hydrated.
Oh shit! I didn't.
Why didn't you put it in the Google Drive?
Ooh.
I pull a
Or
bunch.
the Discord? You're opening Chrome.
I found
See
it.
ya.
Are we gonna do
Ram.
Collins in the second hour?
Oh, we didn't
we're
have any
doing-
volunteers.
We're doing Collins when people pop in.
I thought that we had one person.
Yeah, I don't want to call anybody out.
I'm not gonna call him out, but I was just saying. I thought we had one person that was like
If
100%.
they're out there, at the hour mark, anybody's welcome to volunteer if they want to jump on a call and voice their opinion.
There's an open voice call called Open Dialogue. If you jump in it and go, hello, we'll hear you and freak out for a little bit. And go, oh, yeah, it's a Discord. Because we haven't done that yet. I think this is what Jeremy was getting to, though. And oddly enough, I did have the article. The Attorney General for the Virgin Islands was fired after launching a suit against J.P. Morgan Chase, claiming they facilitated Epstein's sex trafficking operations. He was specifically saying he didn't do it alone. And so we want to...
How long ago was this?
this is like 2 days ago.
Do I needed to get a new bank?
This is incredibly recent. I know, right?
Why would they fire them?
No, actually, I think that's probably the safest place for your fucking money to be.
Probably.
I don't know why they would fire her. It's this lady right here that got fired. But that is a thing that happened.
What the
So it's kind of terrifying. This is from Post Millennial, which I like.
Post Malone?
No.
Oh.
Postmillennial.com.
You think that's a reference? You think they're fans of Post Malone?
No.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
I think they didn't like the
Millennial?
yeah,
Face tats.
and what that brought them. You know what? That is something that we're gonna have to contend with in the future. That the millennials were like all about face tats.
Yeah, and other things I can't say on stream.
Yeah, fentanyl.
Even farther than that.
So yeah, that's crazy though.
Yeah, that's freaking wild.
So I thought.
Well,
so
and
what
then-
was the allegations were that they were still financing him even after knowing he was guilty or something like
Which
that.
is true because he got convicted in 2003 of something. And
Right.
They did not cut ties.
But there was something else too. I thought like they were actually like directly financing the island somehow.
Maybe he had the loan through them for the island, but the thing is, like, all she has to do is bring a court case and subpoena their records as far as what they have with Jeffrey Epstein. This is all
It's a shredding party.
pre
All that's
going to
gone.
court. Yeah.
It's all that evidence would be gone.
Well, and so in avoiding the shredding party, they just fired her.
Yeah, but that wouldn't stop it from coming. Somebody else can go pick up the torch.
Yeah, and get Clintoned or fired.
If any of us end up dead in the next
I don't.
week,
Here, my point is, I don't think you're allowed to bring that suit.
why?
Because there's so many people standing in your way, who can firmly stand in your way. I mean, it's the same reason. It's the same reason that no one got prosecuted after Ghislaine Maxwell.
Yeah,
Because people don't understand.
there was a whole island.
She was. Yeah, right. She was bringing.
Only 2 people.
She was bringing people to Epstein. Sorry, I live next to a road. I'd be hard pressed to imagine that Epstein was the only person she was bringing people to.
Was that somebody in our Discord?
It might have just been Discord general.
Okay. What are all those?
Huh?
I don't
What?
know.
No, we're alone in the open dialogue room. It's fine. Damn, CPU is dropping. What the hell? Oh, we're fine. But I'd be hard pressed to imagine that Epstein was the only person that she was facilitating these young people.
Oh, you think there's
to.
another Epstein out there?
I think she was probably more of the ringleader than he was.
Oh wow,
He was just getting it.
Mm-hmm.
that was just his island. But there's probably
I mean, why do you think he went down first? Why do you think he died as soon as he got to prison? Why do you think Ghislaine Maxwell is still alive and in a cushy prison? Literally complaining.
that is a valid argument.
She's making complaints, and the articles are coming out that she's making complaints.
She doesn't like prison.
Yeah, she's like, this food sucks. And everyone's like, yeah, fuck you, it's prison.
I don't.
But I bet her food got better.
Probably.
Probably. You know, Bill Cosby said that being in prison was great because all he got to do every day was work out. He said he'd get up at like 3 a.m. and he'd work out, and then he'd go back to sleep. Then he'd get up and eat breakfast and have coffee and read, walk around.
An article came out this week that he's trying to go back on tour.
I heard about that.
I wonder if that will sell.
It's going to be the first comedy club tour where there's not a 2-drink minimum. Or where there
Alcohol is not allowed.
absolutely is. Yeah.
Closed cup.
You know what? If he went back on tour and his first drink was, everyone got their drinks?
His first joke.
One of y'all's real unlucky, and then went on with the whole comedy show, I might giggle. It would be the worst joke you could say.
It would be. People would laugh.
Maybe.
You'd have those fucked up dudes in the back like,
Well, you'd have to
those dudes
imagine.
in Borat in the frat
Yeah,
bus.
sorry. You'd have to imagine anyone going to a Cosby.
I would not
Show
go.
at that
I would
point.
want to know who would go to something like that.
Yeah, because honestly, yeah, he's a raper.
I wouldn't
Rapist.
support that in any fashion.
Yeah.
I can't believe people like that get out of jail.
Oh, something else.
Dude, yeah.
Hey, let's just make this the
And he's like
current
80
events.
something.
Because did y'all see the Andrew Tate stuff?
Yeah. So this is the second time he's gotten arrested?
Yeah. I think he's on a 30-day hold or something
Are
like that.
peanuts good for bulking? Yeah, dude. For sure.
Poop, poop, pee, pee.
100%.
Let's ignore them until Sorry, I'm judging you off your name.
There's a lot of protein in peanuts.
Peanuts are good. All right.
Why are we talking? Yeah, so he's arrested in Romania on. I don't even know if people know what the charges are.
Sex trafficking.
Is it human trafficking? Oh, it is the human
Did you see
trafficking
the video that
division.
came out with him beating the shit out of his girlfriend?
That
Fuck
one-
that guy, dude.
That one came out a long time ago. That's why he was canceled.
Who?
And his explanation was they're in some BDSM shit.
Dude, I would Punch that guy in the face if I saw him.
He's a world champion kickboxer.
I'd fight dirty then.
Andrew Tate.
Gotcha.
I'd bring a knife or something.
You with a knife against Andrew Tate, I might still take Andrew Tate.
Really?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Well,
Take out
dude
some
knows how to move.
insurance
so.
policies.
Yeah, so I'm not arguing that he's a good person at all. But
Sure, I've been tested to be a
But-
pacifist, but
Twitter was popping off that because he had got into it with Greta Thunberg in some fashion. And he ate a pizza and the box was there.
Mm-hmm.
And so you could tell he was in Romania. And Twitter was like, oh, what a dumbass, popped off against Greta Thunberg and let the Romanian authorities know he was there. And like, first off, if you don't assume your government knows where you are at any given moment, you're an idiot.
I just said that.
I think the Romanians knew he was home. He owns a fucking mansion, like a compound of shit. So I think they knew he was there. I don't think that influenced them on arresting him at all. But so little has come out, but so many people are like prison already that it's kind of hard to like distinguish what is going on. And it's really hard to be the guy that's like, yeah, no, he's a total piece of shit, but let's wait until someone says something of substance to say something.
Yeah, I don't know
of
where
substance.
I don't know where I read that it was sex trafficking. I think that was the first article that popped up.
Who he was arrested by was like the human trafficking, and they're the ones who came out and said, no, this had nothing to do with a fucking pizza box.
Well, I mean, trafficking means a lot of things. Like they could have tagged sex onto it,
Yeah.
but he could have just had somebody
Well,
flown in or something. And
so he does, used to, might still, I don't really know, one of those campsites where girls are like,
he runs it.
yeah, like he owns it.
How does
He had talked about like having a person who knows English at the computer and just having the girl in front of the camera. It's like knowing how to say yeah in Ukrainian or whatever, or Romanian. And so I think that's where the sex trafficking stuff comes in, but I don't know any of the facts surrounding that.
I don't know. He
I haven't
seems
heard
a
that.
real
I
tool.
don't think anyone knows, and so I'm just gauging the internet going, none of y'all fucking know anything yet. Let's pin this guy to the wall when we know we can pin him to the wall.
There's more evidence.
How did John get unbanned?
Oh,
Oh wait, that's not this show.
Jesus. Where did he get banned?
Clayton's show.
He's not banned.
He got a timeout, I guess.
Yeah, he just got timed out. It goes away.
That's so fucking funny.
So that was simulation theory.
He got timed out for sentences like that.
When was this? He doesn't even remember. That's how important it was. So that was episode 10, simulation theory. Episode 11 was blood types. And
That shit, dude.
That was the last one.
Oh yeah, that was a fan.
Fan favorite? Fan recommendation. We didn't have any. I didn't have any. I didn't have any idea what was going to happen in that one. But that was one of my favorite ones for sure.
Yeah, it got kind of deep. Oh, and we need to
Yeah, we do. Good
Kinda-
segue.
have this conversation that I was wrong.
Hey, can we take a break though? It's 7:30.
God damn it, Trey.
I gotta pee. I'm sorry.
Yeah, we'll preface it with that. Yeah, let's take a break. We'll be back at 7:35.
Cool.
I can't use those loops anymore.
Well, we're back.
We're back.
Well, let me tell you why I can't use Apple Loops anymore first.
Why?
Because I retuned my Logic to 432. So
Oh,
all the loops are out of key now.
can you
Uh-oh.
just?
Probably.
Yeah. Okay. Anyway, so we were gonna get into the blood type discussion that we had almost immediately after the show, because like the next day or the day after that, I found an article. I need to preface this a little bit better.
Okay.
So, your argument on the day was that, and I think the truth lies in between both of our perspectives on the day, but yours was that there shouldn't be a type O blood type, or the reason that there is because it was the first one and it hasn't been it hasn't been mixed long enough to disappear because the percentage of getting it is so low.
I don't think I said there shouldn't be one. It just shouldn't be the majority.
I think you literally said that. But and my argument was that it is of such a
It could have been a misunderstanding because that was not my intent.
Okay. Well, and my thought on the day was that since it's the only recessive trait, there is a percentage that it shouldn't ever drop below. I would never expect it to not exist anymore.
Mm-hmm.
And that I thought that the 40% of total blood types or whatever was probably pretty close to the statistical end of where type O blood would lead. I think in reality it's probably a lot closer to 10 or 20. So I was wrong.
Oh wow.
But the article that I saw specifically said it is the ancestral blood type. And so it is so high because it has not been, I'm thinking of a word that I can't
Diluted?
Yeah, diluted or bred out of or whatever.
Yeah, I feel real weird about talking about some of this stuff, right? We kind of got into it on the show, but no, I didn't mean to say that it shouldn't exist. I'm saying if it does exist, it should be on the decline. Like the more AB comes across, it loses those battles. It's going to lose more times than not. So that should reflect a minority at the most. I wasn't really trying to get into numbers, but for it being the majority, that was the red flag. That was the conspiracy to me. That's like the anomaly. And then I was tying it back in ancient civs and stuff. So if you had some super engineered culture that was genetically, you would want everybody to be O, because then you could just give everybody O.
Well, I mean, you could take it even back to the Zechariah Sitchin type where he thinks Nibiru holds the Anunnaki, and then they engineered people, and that those engineered peoples would be the O's in that. But so I was wrong in that I didn't think there was evidence for it being the ancestral type of blood, which there obviously is to the extent that it is accepted in science that O is the oldest type of blood. And I was wrong in that I thought the statistical end of O was where it currently is, and I think I'm wrong. So,
thank you.
I argued hard, and I think I'm wrong.
I think there was a fundamental misunderstanding. I think we were both trying to, like, I agree with what you're saying about it being the only recessive. What?
Oh, no. I was going to say, Clayton just said he's wrong. Man, y'all tuned in. Y'all tuned in, because this has never happened.
I might have set him up. I don't know. I just didn't explain it very well.
But that was an interesting episode, and I really enjoyed it.
It was. I had never even, I guess, approached some of the conspiracy stuff from that perspective. Like, I don't know. It seems like such a weird avenue to kind of come back to where we are talking about with most of the show.
I think it would be interesting to, like, I've never heard Randall Carlson or Graham Hancock tie that into anything they talk about. I think that might be an interesting thing to say.
Hey, call him up.
Yeah.
Hey, maybe you haven't looked at this perspective.
Like, hey, you know that civilization that you think probably existed before the end of the last ice age? What if they were all O blood types, and coming out of the ice age, people started mating with Neanderthals and other types of mammalian, human-esque types of species, and that's why we have A's and AB's and negatives or and positives.
I don't know. There's no such thing as stupid questions. Do gorillas and apes and any type of apes, do they have different blood types as well?
Yeah, they have A, B, and O.
Okay.
And B.
Right on.
But none of them are negative. That's what the negative conspiracy is that there's like no progenitor if we came from apes. There's not a progenitor of negative blood types. So perhaps all these ancient astronaut theories where we've been genetically modified or created, essentially, maybe the negative blood type was created, which is kind of weird because it's a lack of a protein. It's not an addition.
That's what the negative means, is that it lacks those. Which the AB, I want to say, is it's not. I mean, you're not handicapped in any way for having AB or anything like that, but like, there's no benefits to being O other than you could. There's no benefits for being any one blood type, right? Like, it doesn't define your personality. We got into that on the show. Like,
the Japanese believe, or I think it's Japanese. Maybe it's Chinese.
Japanese.
Ooh, I'm
Japanese.
Really culturally insensitive right now.
But
yeah, but the benefit of being AB positive is that you get whatever blood you want.
But I'm saying like you don't get like superhuman strength or like can see through walls or.
No, but negative blood types are like we went through some of those in which you're less susceptible to get AIDS.
You're right.
There's some that are kind of pseudoscience in which you're more tied into metaphysical things like being a psychic of some sort, or you have a higher propensity to have like blonde hair, red hair, green eyes, blue eyes, stuff like that.
Yeah.
Lower body temperatures, lower resting heart rate. I don't know how proven any of that is. Obviously, I got it from less than reputable sources, as far as they're just someone doing what I'm doing.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I wasn't trying to necessarily go down that avenue. I don't want to sound biased.
Yeah.
Yeah. And y'all never found out y'all's blood types?
I haven't. I was thinking like, damn, I need to find out mine.
Figure that out.
Yeah. I have a nurse practitioner that I see once a year that he can tell me.
Yeah. I think you could just order a test. Not to do.
I'm not gonna do that on myself. Fuck that.
Oh no, those little like finger pricks, they hurt. Have you ever done that?
No.
Where they gotta prick your finger and take like a little dollop?
Yo, yeah. That shit does
That
hurt.
shit
It's like
hurts like a bitch, and it hurts for a day. Like,
Yeah,
don't
like-
touch that spot on your finger for a whole
You
day.
guys are
the tip of your
babies.
finger.
No, I'd rather you
Bitch,
like.
I'm covered in tattoos.
I would rather you cut my hand with a knife than prick the end of my finger.
I don't know about that. That's pretty fucked.
Not like a lot, but like you get way more blood, and it hurt way less than pricking the tip of my finger. That shit hurts.
It bleeds a lot.
Those little machines that go.
Yeah.
When they do it, that hurts.
I do that probably once a month.
I feel like a piece of cloth being
once every
sewed.
couple
My
months.
buddy that has diabetes, like when he would check his blood and everything, like he would have to give his finger
That's why
a
I'm
prick
saying
and
like
all
baby. Joel had to do it since I was like 5. Every day, 3 times a day,
Well,
4 times.
I'm
multiple
not
times.
saying that I wouldn't be able to do it every day if it
Yeah.
absolutely
If it was
had
necessary.
to be done.
It
But
just
I'm
sucks.
saying it doesn't ever have to be done, and when it does, I get to bitch about it because it hurts.
I think there's ways of doing it. Like I'm sure you learn techniques to like where's the soft spots, relax your finger,
Or
or
you
get
just-
used to it.
You're just like, God damn it, I have to do it again.
Yeah, I remember in the early days when he had like I guess shittier equipment, he would like get frustrated because he would have to keep doing it and not get enough blood, and the tester needed more blood, so he'd have to sit there and squeeze it and then do it again, and it was bad. Yeah,
Yeah, that
And
sucks.
Diabetes is
I don't
no
even think
joke.
you have to prick your finger anymore.
He has like a
Joel has diabetes?
he's type 1.
No.
He has a
Joel.
That's what I said.
Oh, I thought you said the other one.
glucose monitor he wears on his. It's permanently attached to him, and it
Oh, really?
circulates blood. And he holds his phone up. It's like your blood sugar's 50, whatever it
It's
is.
like an implant?
It's no, it's on the outside, so it's like a patch he sticks on, and I think there's a gun that pushes a needle inside of it, and then you take the gun away, and it's just like a tiny little patch.
Oh.
But it
how long
reads
does that
it.
last?
I think like 6 weeks, maybe
Damn.
3 weeks.
That's not bad.
Aubrey wore it for a little bit. Joel gave her an extra one. She wore it for a little bit, testing hers. And I think you
What
could,
was that?
Shits and gigs? Discord.
Oh.
I think you could just get some through your insurance, just as a precaution. Not a precaution.
Is there a way to turn off the Discord stuff?
Just quit it until somebody says so.
Well, I want to be in it in case someone joins.
Anybody want to join? Jump in now.
Can you right click on it?
I love you, Drake. Always a salesman, dude. I watched your reel, and I was like, he is about this shit.
I was feeling it today, man. I woke up happy. I was like, dude, this is the first time we're ever doing this.
Go get your fucking merch.
I didn't realize there was a voiceover.
What'd you say?
I didn't realize there was a voiceover
Mm.
to go watch it.
Yeah, you didn't watch my reel?
Yeah, so, what do y'all think what do you think season 2 holds? Do we have any type of...
Big Pharma for sure.
Yeah.
UFOs again.
UFOs, definitely.
I want to do, like a 3-letter government agency episode.
That'd be cool.
Probably be at least 2.
That would definitely.
Too long.
What?
Just, like,
Talk
to
about like
get
the
into the
FBI,
inception
CIA,
of all these
CDC,
things.
anything like that.
Yeah, to kind of research when they started, why they started, and then, find any conspiracy therein. If you're looking at the CIA, there's a lot of them, so.
That's what I was about to say. Is it one per episode or is it
I want to do an overarching, like, where'd they come from?
okay?
Here's why people don't like them.
I don't. Yeah, definitely on board with that.
Here's what they're accused of being involved in.
We had a bigger list at one point. I don't know where that went.
It's on my iPad that I don't have with me. That's the note.
Sorry, I'll keep
Coughing. Jesus Christ.
covering my mouth.
Jesus Christ.
Jesus Christ.
You're ignorant.
That'd be a good
That's
one.
ignorant.
What?
You said Jesus Christ. I said that'd be a good one. I was kidding.
Dude, let me finish this book and we could do an episode on.
Because the negative blood type one got into that.
Yeah, we can talk about how it ties back into Tesla because
I might have pulled it out.
they say that they had the same type of blood. I don't know how you know what type of blood Jesus had, but
Oh no, here it is. Pizzagate. We haven't touched that.
that's a good one.
That one's scary to do without a
Epstein
paywall.
2 would be a good one.
MK Ultra.
MK Ultra.
MK Ultra would be a
yeah,
good
that'd
one.
be great.
Then you got the classics like okay, let's make season 2 the
Themed?
themed to those 3-letter organizations. And so the episode 1 will be like this, or you could do like episode 1 is like this is what they all are, this is where they came from. Here's what's sketchy about that, and then episode 2 can be like CIA, MK Ultra. Episode 3 can be FBI, whatever the fuck they did.
MLK.
Yeah, and NSA and the Patriot Act and what all they're looking at.
Yeah.
You
That'd be
could
good
probably
one.
add TSA into the NSA one.
You definitely
because
could.
They don't do shit, dude.
No.
TSA.
Hey, again,
I
it's
thought
a
the TSA
career,
was
but-
not a government.
I guess they're not.
Did you
to
say
the same
that?
extent that
You're not my source on that, are you?
I might be,
Oh,
but
God damn it.
but here's another current event we were supposed to talk about in that Southwest canceled like 8,000 flights or something.
Mine was one of them. I was on my way to Denver, and then we got a text saying, you ain't going.
Yeah, but
That's pretty crazy.
apparently they got caught with their pants down with bad software.
Outdated software.
I've heard a lot. I've
Mayonnaise
heard-
is a big Southwest fanboy, too, so
Yeah,
better watch
so-
what we say.
Well, my mom was a recent employee of them,
Oh.
and she was telling me that she had heard they lost their computer system for like 24 hours straight, and so they weren't able to do that. Then you had the fucking blizzard that rolled through. I don't know how much of that really, really affected it. I'm sure way up farther north.
No, it does. They get a lot of cancellations with shit like that. It
And,
throws off the whole flight thing for the whole day.
So the Storm computer software, I had a source tell me that there were a bunch of strikes going on because apparently a bunch of Southwest employees were called in to work during the holidays when these people already had time off.
Yeah.
So you're calling people in on their time off and they get pissed and they
Over the holidays.
over the holidays.
Okay, so first order was there's a blizzard.
Yeah.
On like half the country.
Yeah.
I mean, it was.
And very strong winds down here.
It snowed here.
Yeah.
None of it stuck, but it.
No.
I
it
saw
did
snowflakes.
snow.
There was definitely some
It's
sleet.
the Christmas holidays,
Yeah. The worst time of the year that you can go on strike.
and their computers go down, and they have a strike because they're trying to call people in who are not going to come in. Is what it sounds like.
Yeah.
And we did ask that person to come on, and they went, "Fuck no, I'll get fired."
Yeah.
That person's on strike right now?
No. The
They-
source that I was talking about, I wanted that person to come talk to us, but they were
Yeah.
like, I cannot do that.
Yeah.
So I was like, all right, that's cool.
So you talked to him a little bit behind the scenes, and then
Yeah.
kind of told me what's going on. But the problem with all of this is that the airlines are so ingrained with the government that, like, at its worst, people were bitching that the government hadn't done anything. Because a lot of people were waiting for refunds, maybe still haven't got them. I don't know how that's
I
shaking
don't think
out.
ours has. They might just give us flight,
Coupons?
what is it called?
Yeah.
Vouchers?
Flight, like points to
Rain
just
checks?
fly somewhere else.
Yeah.
Coupons?
Yeah, rate and check.
But a lot of the people, I assume a lot of the people who had purchased these flights didn't then have money to buy another flight and hadn't gotten their refund yet. So they're literally stuck in an airport with no money until that money comes back in.
And then to add on to that, apparently, like people were seeing this all over the fucking country too. The bag's still shipped out.
Yeah.
So your luggage
Yeah.
is fucking.
No, I saw a Reddit
and you're
thread.
at your point B, and you're at your point A, and now you're stranded. And especially wherever the hell you are, you might be stranded in your point A in the fucking north.
Yeah.
So like you were trying to get down here, maybe to the into California or Florida or Texas or something, but you're stuck up in Chicago.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
I saw a Reddit thread. I think it was a flight from New York to California where it was just the baggage, and there's piles of baggage and no people.
Dude.
And like, imagine
Yeah.
if you had layovers, and for some reason your bags are stuck at the layover.
Exactly. So like, it's a big fucking cake.
Yeah, you
Just
fuck up
pile
the
it up.
airlines, that shit snowballs fast.
Southwest is huge too, right? Like that's,
Oh, dude, yeah, and they're gonna. I've already seen like a ton of people saying I'll never fly with them again. So another thing that happened too, the extra layer. We're adding on layers, not peeling them off, and God damn it, I forgot my point.
Well, I put the camera on
we're
you.
peeling, we're peeling
Extra
layers.
embarrassing.
I know that is.
Another layer to this.
The other layer is that
You're allowed to have forgotten.
I forgot.
It's fine.
Well, okay, so
Did you lose your luggage? No.
No, I didn't lose my.
You didn't even
luggage.
make it to the airport. That's right.
I was like it. My flight was that night, and
You
I got
hate
the
the
text
table?
early that morning. I did hit the table. I got the text early that morning. Our flight was that night, so luckily, like I woke up to that text type of thing.
It's a lot
But
better situation than a lot of people.
yeah, that's what I'm saying is I wasn't stuck out there.
Still a bummer. Do those some of those hotels are non-refundable?
Oh I lost like $300 in Airbnb because we had to cancel the day of.
Yeah.
So when you cancel the day of, you don't get your full
Yeah, they
money
go
back.
go fuck yourself.
And so now
That makes Southwest pay that.
So now, Job. Oh, okay. So I remember my point. So
back.
since the Southwest flights were all canceled, every other airline got booked up. So everyone that was like, okay, I do have the extra money to fly. A bunch of people went over there. So like
Give me
when I
that Delta
started,
shit.
when I started looking, yeah, and Spirit and all that shit.
Mhm.
And when I started looking at American Airlines, it was like, oh, you want to fly this week? Oh, it's $1,000.
Well, American Airlines is better, and they are better. They're more expensive, but they're
It's
better.
bigger. Yeah, it's bigger, and they
No,
go.
dog. Here's the worst thing about flying on an airplane. Your phone dies.
Yeah.
Guess what? American Airlines has a little bitty charger, and you just charge your fucking phone. Every other airlines is like, nah, we're too stupid to put USBs at every
Every seat.
seat.
Yeah, that seems
So
pretty crazy.
easy. It seems so.
You don't even have to refit the whole plane. Just
You need a card battery and like a football field of wire, and a bunch of USB ports, and you can make that work.
will that work? Car battery.
I'm sure you could throw some capacitors or transformers and downgrade whatever voltage you need to. All I'm saying is like, you're a $1 billion company. Please put a USB port at this seat, you fucking idiot.
It
Yeah.
seems pretty crazy. Where's that money going?
They figured out how to get it in the airport. At every chair,
Yeah.
there's a charger.
Yeah. And the walls, and you can. go
There's
stand
less
around.
planes than airport chairs.
They want you to spend longer in the airport than they do in the plane.
Yeah.
Yeah. Then you can go buy all the expensive shit all throughout the airport.
Yeah, dog. No, I buy like a water and a Monster every time I go to the airport. It's like $10 fucking.
It's crazy.
Just because I don't want to walk through the airport with an empty bottle.
It's a whole strategy.
So Joe Biden's administration's getting involved, and I don't know how far they've gotten
they?
into it. Yeah.
I
Like the
heard
federal
people-
government is involved.
I
with
heard
this.
people were bitching because they weren't getting involved. Well, I guess
Yeah.
it's probably because they weren't doling out money, but
Because there's just
somehow
like what? Because this is also like before everyone knew about the computer system and all that. So everyone's like, "What the fuck is going on?"
Well, I think Southwest already fucked up like a year ago. I don't remember what they fucked up, but I think it was the other Blizzard or something.
Probably. I don't know.
Maybe, I don't know. I don't fly as often as you.
It just seems
I always fly Southwest. It's always been a pleasure for me.
if there's like 100% chance you're getting bailed out if there's another terrorist attack with a plane, because you already did, then you better not like fuck up on accident to the tune of billions of dollars or whatever the fuck it costs. Maybe it wasn't $1 billion, but it's a hell of a lot. Crazy.
It is crazy. Some a company that big could fail that big.
All right, so let's line out season 2 here live on air.
That's true.
So
Communal use.
I saw one a second ago too. Serial killers. I've been reading a lot on serial killers and the psychology behind them.
what is the conspiracy therein?
That's fair. Well, a lot of them are behind MK Ultra.
Okay.
That's true.
A lot of them are, and I think that's why I remember I originally tied in serial killers, because you have a bunch of different ones. Charles Manson, for example.
Yeah.
I heard Jeffrey Dahmer.
We could
There's
start
a
with
bunch.
JFK. I mean,
Charles Manson.
I was gonna say MK Ultra, CIA.
You are cut off.
My bad.
Okay, let's make the first one them in general. The three-letter organizations, intelligence agencies.
Okay.
So, yeah, I'm gonna assume it's probably like 11 long, like the last one episode.
Mayonnaise said, "What about one communal USB port? How about you invent it and then give us a bunch of money when you become successful?"
I mean, that would be better, and I would definitely bring a USB splitter, but that is not good still.
What about just Tesla's method? Wireless energy.
In a plane? I don't know.
The
man.
plane was supposed to be driven by wireless energy.
Blown.
Okay. Episode 1 is intelligence.
Can you not drive an airplane?
No, you can't fucking drive an airplane. You fly it.
That's
Intelligence
probably
agencies. 2, we're gonna focus in on the CIA and MK Ultra.
yeah.
3,
FBI.
okay, and we'll find the conspiracy thereafter. I'm sure there is one.
MLK.
4 is CIA and MK.
You know that
No,
it was
the FBI that killed.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Duh. Hoover?
Okay. And then what did we just talk about? Like
NSA.
the NSA, and then
CDC.
we'll probably get into the TSA.
CC's not American, is it?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, it is. It's our
TSA.
I thought CDC
healthcare,
was.
whatever the fuck.
No, it's
Global.
the Center of Disease Control.
Center of-
for
yeah.
Do you want to put
America.
UN in there?
For America.
No, they're not really a intelligence agency.
Do they have to be intelligence agents?
Well, that's the name of season 2.
Just government entities.
Uh,
DHS.
CDC probably ties in with Big Pharma, right?
Yeah. Sure.
In the
Okay. Yeah. Well, there's
the-
American Health Association. Sure. Yeah.
in the NI National.
The American diet was a joke and a scam, all designed to get us heart attacks.
What did I just say? Oh, CDC.
Eat more fast food.
Yeah, man.
Big
I'm about to go get some fast food.
I was like, damn, some food sounds good.
Industrial military.
That's a good one. I bought this
I'm
book.
sure there's enough tie-in there, right?
Just put military, I guess.
I bought a book talking about the industrial revolution of like the medieval torture devices and shit. I'll have to show you it. I haven't digged into it yet, but
Wow.
it's supposed to be pretty crazy. I was looking on like medieval books and I found that and I was like, ooh.
We need to do one on the cat. That's not.
How about 7 is NASA and like the moon landing?
That's cool because NASA was created by Nazis.
I'm sure we'll get into it, Drake.
So
You know what NASA stands for? Never a straight answer.
I think it's the National Aeronautics and Space Administration.
You might be right, but it's never a
Did you
straight
do the DHS?
What are they doing?
Homeland Security? I don't
The
know.
Twitter files.
Crazy
all-
stuff.
um,
What about the MIB? Did you put that on there?
yeah, let's redo UFOs, and we'll do UFOs, Men in Black,
That sounds
and
great.
whoever's related.
I'm just gonna go watch the movie.
I watched it the other day.
Does it still stand up?
It's so
Yeah,
good, dude.
Hell yeah.
I
like-
watched both of them.
I was about to say 2 was decent,
Two
honestly.
was alright. It's not my favorite.
Yeah, for sure, but it was decent for a sequel.
3's good.
I don't know about that.
Josh Brolin.
So that's 8. We need 3 more.
All right.
Most of these can
What's
tie in.
the NCIS?
NCIS?
No,
I need to Google
the
like
INS
3-letter
or whatever it is.
organizations.
ICE.
ICE.
Oh no, they don't all have to be different things. They can be like 2 is gonna be CIA and MK Ultra, but 9 can be CIA and 9/11.
Literally, yeah. Anything.
We could tie it in with how they covered up UFO reports. What was that? Project Bluebeam?
Yeah, that's
Project
right.
Bluebeam? Am I right?
Yeah.
There's so many projects.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Secret Service.
What about them?
There's a conspiracy about the Secret Service.
That they wouldn't take a bullet for the president?
Is there one? What about? Oh, he's still saying USB port.
Come on, chat, help us out here.
Yeah, like another one we have written down is American education. What is the in there?
Department of Education.
Well, the censorship and what they take out of the history books and all that stuff. I heard in Japan they don't even learn about Hiroshima.
All right, we're gonna call it intelligence agencies and the government.
There was the guy that was trying to rig the college people.
And
Saying,
then number 9 is going to be, what did I just say? American education.
yeah. Heinz ketchup.
Mayonnaise.
We do have an episode going to be dedicated to Heinz ketchup.
Do we?
It's the American Diet episode.
Oh, yeah. Which is... Oh, I didn't
Excuse
write
me.
that down.
Big Pharma? Is that a different episode?
Well-
that was CDC.
Okay, well then you can do it again. Yeah.
You could do Big Pharma separate from American
let's
Diet.
do American Diet then. Yeah, because they are...
Big
You
tomato.
can definitely, yeah, those are two separate
Separate.
things. I mean, they can be
Right.
same, but different.
So we have one more.
One more episode?
How about just the Clintons in general?
The Clintons would be a good one. Or the Bushes. No, we can say
Why don't we do political
'Cause-
families?
because the Bushes can be
can do
saved
the
for a
Bidens
section
Bushes.
of 9/11. That can be one full week of 9/11.
Didn't we,
It's just-
one of the episodes, where didn't we say like every president's been related since?
Yeah.
That'd be a good episode.
Why don't we just do
Simulation theory? No, I don't remember.
American political families?
I think it was blood types.
Okay.
American political families.
Yeah, the oligarchy in America. There you go.
Okay, I'll put American oligarchy.
There you go.
How do you spell that?
OLGFY.
Cool.
Just people who have been in politics for way too long.
Yeah,
It's all cyclical. It's all the same people.
like Joe Biden.
Yeah.
You know, never mind.
You know, it's
Y'all
the same thing with
review.
Bernie Sanders, but nobody has that same connotation for Bernie
Well,
Sanders.
because Bernie Sanders
Yeah.
wasn't saying back in the 70s, I won't allow my kids to be in the same school as black people. You can fucking find that Joe Biden said that.
It's pretty crazy.
Yeah, 100%. And people are like, oh, yeah, I'm going to vote for him. I'm not saying vote for Trump. I'm not saying that at all. I'm just saying voting for Biden fucking
He wasn't
stupid.
a racist.
I'm not supporting Trump at all. I'm just saying.
All right. Season 2.
Cool. Season 2. What was that one president that had his kids working for him? All of them?
Every president.
Every president? Like Bush
Actually, I think Obama's,
Jr. only got to be president because daddy?
I
Because
think
then...
Obama's kids were too young.
because then... yeah, they were. Because then...
But Hillary Clinton's daughter worked at their foundation. Bill Clinton's kid was too young at the time.
Isn't there something crazy tying back to one of Obama's daughters?
I don't know.
I thought I heard something
But the
like...
Kennedys are throughout politics.
Clintons are pretty crazy.
Clinton-
He's obviously
yeah.
talking about Trump, but
John?
yeah.
Well, yeah, because it's the most recent. He was old enough to remember.
What the fuck? Was that you?
That was Michael Jackson. Does this pin glow?
Is it
Glow.
invisible?
That's what I meant to say.
Oh man,
What you
it's
mean to
off
say?
again.
Um,
Season 2 will be fun then.
Season 2 is going to be great.
it seems very more narrow, more focused, I guess. That's a better way. To
Well, luckily now, like, we'll know in advance what the fuck we're gonna be researching, and not like
Yeah,
half a week to get shit together.
and we'll have to reach out to
Oh yeah. What was their name?
Metaphysical Hour AM to see what they got.
there might be
going
a
on
time challenge there I didn't think about.
that they do in the morning.
Well, I don't know what time zone Victoria's in.
Oh,
It's probably like East Coast time zone.
No.
I don't actually know what
I think
part
it's
of
West
Canada
Coast.
is.
I have no idea. We should shut up.
I do not know anything geographically concerned with Canada.
I can't. I want to say it's West Coast.
I want to go so bad.
To
I've never
Canada?
been. Yeah, that'd be great.
I'd go to Canada. for
I'd
sure.
go to Canada
For what though, sir?
just to see another country that I've never been to
I would just pick different
and
ones.
tell them what bacon actually is. No offense.
Oh yeah, Canadian bacon is ham.
And I would go experience their legal marijuana.
Fair enough.
I would go experience
I'd
that.
go to Canada.
I want to go to Japan.
That would be cool.
I also want to go to the Sunshine Coast of Australia.
I'd
You know,
go to
people,
Australia.
Paradise.
conspiracy theory, people don't believe, I don't know about still, but this was like 2015, I think, when it was really popping, is that Australia is not real. and that everyone from Australia is lying and they're an actor. This is like you should Google it honestly.
They have like
Okay, I'll
But
Google Australia isn't real.
Because I'm literally, yeah. I'm not saying I support it because I know people that have been to Australia and a bunch of shit like that. But it's fucking funny that people think this stuff.
birds aren't real.
Yeah, that one too. And the guy that created that conspiracy theory, like,
Same guy.
it could be. He said, like, I think they caught him slipping in an interview where he like slipped up and said that theory is not even real, and he was like, oh, like got caught on camera.
That's hilarious.
Birds are definitely real.
Are they?
They could be spying on us.
Birds are government drones, bro.
I mean, some could be. I've never seen a baby pigeon, but that's just me.
Oh, that's a good point. I guess they're in the nest.
I've never seen a pigeon nest.
I never understood a conspiracy. Why do they have to kill all the birds?
Another fair point.
That's what I'm saying. Like, pigeons are the only exception for possibly not being a real bird. Every other bird, it's like, I've seen a fucking nest. Eagles have nests. You can't tell me that's a fucking drone.
So there is a YouTuber and a woman who's convinced Australia doesn't exist.
I was not lying.
These are real stories.
Yes, this is great. This is people out there right now that
Okay.
are fighting for this.
Do we go to hit.com or The Guardian?
The Guardian sounds sick. That's like some Halo shit.
Oh, osu.edu.
Are we trying to prove that Australia is real right now?
We are trying to prove that Australia is real.
Dude, this is from The Ohio State, okay?
I don't want to play this game.
The Ohio State, man, how many people have gotten their degree from there?
It's an elaborate cover-up by the British government for a mass murder.
This is amazing.
People believe it was founded as a penal colony and that the prisoners were killed instead of sent to the non-existent island. But England couldn't admit that outright.
They just actually sent them there to kill them?
Yeah, and they're just lying so they don't seem monstrous.
This is amazing. I've never read this far into it.
Oh, so these are flat earth people, I guess.
Oh, god damn it.
And to execute them, they sent them over the edge of the world.
Oh my god. So they're the same people as flat earthers.
Yeah,
Flat earthers.
yeah,
Flat earthers.
essentially.
Yeah.
It's just the depth
Look,
to which people may believe the most insane thing.
Who shot you? The Clinton body count list. We might need that for later.
Yeah.
This is
Well,
amazing. Thank you, Ohio State, for being fucking idiots.
Drake, you're right. That was real. It's a real theory.
That's your funny nut theory, your funny nut fact, whatever you want to call it.
Funny nut
Yeah.
theory of the week.
Funny nut theory of the week.
Australia is not real.
No.
If you go there,
It's that some
drop
people
me
think,
your
but-
pin. Drop me your pin.
FaceTime
I'll give you my number.
You think the Brits aren't in cahoots with Google Maps, bro?
It was over mass murder, bruh. They're all dead.
That's insane.
That's crazy. I love it.
So Australia, Golden Coast.
Are we going to Australia now instead of Canada?
No, I think that's like a 24-hour flight and a very expensive one.
We'd have to be like there for 2 weeks.
It doesn't exist.
Yeah, because they're just flying you around long enough for you to think that's where you're going.
Okay, we're back. This looks a lot like Texas.
Yeah, they're just at the border.
Somebody opens
Is
a
that a
bin and a bunch of
kangaroo?
kangaroos come out.
No, never mind. All right,
Oh,
we're
man.
done. We're done.
You're done.
That would be crazy.
I'm pretty sure
Where did kangaroos come from, do you think?
kangaroos are assholes.
Like, what is a marsupial?
Dude, yeah, like what fucked and made a kangaroo?
A horse.
A horse and like a deer.
Or like a fox in a
Because
deer?
a horse is a buck and kangaroos kick.
Kangaroos' hands kind of look like raccoon hands.
Maybe it was a
It was
koala.
an orgy of animals. They created a kangaroo.
Only in Australia.
There's a bunch of koalas and.
What does Russell Crowe say on South Park? He's like
I don't know.
Is Russell Crowe Australian?
singing songs and something fighting around the world. I forgot. It's fucking funny.
Is Russell Crowe Australian?
Yes, I
I
think
didn't know
so.
that.
I'm 99% sure he's Australian.
I thought he's New Zealand.
What do you call those people?
New Zealanders?
Kiwis.
Kiwis? Really?
Mm-hmm.
For real?
Dog.
No, I'm not.
No, Jeremy absolutely is. so I'm gonna prove him
People
wrong.
from New Zealand are called Kiwis.
I've never heard that. Can Peter Jackson get on the phone and correct us?
Peter Jackson from?
Well, he filmed all goddamn 3 movies,
New
6
Zealanders
movies over there.
During the First World War, New Zealand soldiers were referred to as Kiwis, and the nickname stuck.
Okay.
Wow.
Suck a fatty.
I mean, I'm sorry, I've never heard that obscure Great War reference.
I'm just well-rounded as an intelligent human being. That's what I'm
That,
saying.
yeah, I mean, you could have won Jeopardy with that, I guess. Could you?
Maybe.
Yeah, that'd be a good Jeopardy.
You are smarter than a 5th grader.
Even
I
better.
also might be a redneck.
Here's your sign.
Here, she said.
No one born after like 2002 knows that joke.
Oh, the blue collar comedy tour.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sister had a bunch of moles.
Dude, that shit's great.
Larry the Cable Guy. Does he still have a career?
Probably. Ron White
No, I
still
think
does.
he
Ron
got
White,
so rich.
I'm right still.
he's fucking hilarious.
I think they all got so rich that they like don't necessarily need a career anymore.
Yeah, I think they were doing like TV shows for fun.
Ron White was probably the only one that was really funny to me.
I agree.
Yeah, he was definitely the funniest.
I'm not saying the others weren't funny,
I don't know, Bill Engvall.
but it wasn't my.
Bill Engvall's fucking funny.
Jeff Foxworthy.
Jeff Foxworthy. I think all 4 of them are funny. I think Larry the Cable Guy is kind of the most out there, and like he makes the most like fart jokes and all that. He's the most immature, I think, but
The only one to play a tooth fairy. So there's that.
Who?
Larry the Cable Guy.
I didn't know he played the Tooth Fairy.
Yep.
I thought that was The Rock.
It was both.
yeah, I was about to say it was both. And he was in Cars. He was the
Mater.
truck. Yep.
The car of a human.
I'm glad that this is where our conversation led to.
Yeah, right.
We're up in our
No,
outline.
We recapped season 1 and lined out season 2 all
Well,
in an
now
hour
we're
and a
just-
half.
Now we're just chilling.
Brushed
Yeah.
through these trying to get back to some of them. Right? No? So we got to the point where I was right.
Damn. Okay. Nobody's in the chat yet. All right. Let's see how it is.
So
Not the
anyways,
chat, the Discord. Somebody hop in the Discord.
Come on, John Boy.
what's he gonna say?
Traveling at the speed of smell. The wrong way joke. I approve.
Yeah. Jesus.
Was there any updates to some of this? We wanted to go back on to the war of drugs, right? No.
I don't think any pertinent news
No, I'm just
updates.
kidding. I can read.
There's this did we talk about the DMT stuff in New England? Not New England. In England?
No.
About them doing the intravenous drips?
Is that new?
It's relatively new.
Tell us about it.
Maybe you heard
I'll
about it.
Google it while you explain it.
Well, usually like a DMT trip is like 15 minutes. And then like it's so intense and then you come back and they're trying to get you to recite what happened.
Mm.
But it's so fast and it's so short. It's hard to get like a detailed image of it.
Mhm.
So
Sorry.
this guy Christopher Timmerman in the Royal Institute in not New England in England, he found a way to do it intravenously over like an hour, and he's keeping multiple people under for like hours at a time.
Okay, yes, I have heard of this. Yes.
I
They're
made a
trying to make
mistake.
the DMT trips for like an hour or more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So here's something I never look at. It's the actual study and not someone breaking it down.
Okay.
So we'll have to read that or find someone who breaks down that study.
Okay.
But yeah, these things have happened.
This
Oh,
was
2016, 2022 is the one I just pulled up. The effects of dimethyltryptamine in healthy subjects.
yeah.
Also, that was a joke. I do read these.
There's also this other guy
Or
doing
John
research
pops
into the morphic field. Have you heard about that?
The morphic field?
Yeah.
The
I
mighty morphic
I
field?
think he found the it's like an electromagnetic field, but it's a field in your body that tells what cells what to become.
What's it called?
The morphic field,
Okay.
morphic field resonance.
Here, I'll Google theory.
I think it's morphic field resonant theory. Morphic resonant theory.
This says the theory proposes that any form looks always alike because it remembers its forms throughout repetition, and that any new forms having similar characteristics will use the pattern of similar forms already existing as a guide for its appearance.
So, have you ever heard of the experiment where there's a word puzzle
Mm-hmm.
and like 1,000 people do one word puzzle and then they go to somebody new and they give them the option between two word puzzles. One of them was the one that 1,000 people have done, and the other one is nobody's done yet.
Oh, I understand what this is. Continue.
9 times out of 10, the one that 1,000 people have done, they could do much easier than the one nobody's done.
It's the
Okay.
same.
That's weird.
They discovered this in monkeys recently too, because
That's pretty crazy.
there was one who started using a stick to fish or something like that,
Yeah.
and then another one did it, and then they all knew how to do it.
Yeah.
Like it went from 1 to 2 to 4 to all of them with like some inexplicable jump. And so it's the idea of like mass. It's kind of the same way mass hypnosis or something like that works.
Thank you.
Okay, we all just
So
ordered
sweet.
Jack in the Box.
So
Anyways,
sweet.
would the 24-hour DMT trips be considered the first contact, being that they're all coming back on average and explaining their experiences with beings from another dimension? Oh, it's like the Clockwork Elves thing when people all see the same type of being.
Dude, that's the whole purpose of the experiment, is so that they could map and identify and try to, I guess, target some of this research. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
But if they have all these participants going under and then coming back saying, hey, we both met Jim, and
How real is Jim then?
he's a pretty cool guy, right? Like, that would be a subjective kind of thing.
Yeah.
I mean, objective. And I think that's the point, yeah. But, I mean, if that stuff is what's coming out of a lot of that research, I think it's going to be harder and harder to ignore
Yeah, for sure.
that stuff is happening. I don't know. Since DMT is naturally released most in your life is the beginning and at the end.
Yeah, people also think it happened. It's the reason we dream.
So on that last
makes
point,
sense.
that was the way I understand it too. So a point in the womb,
Mhm.
your brain floods your infant body with DMT, and it's like kind of the entrance of the soul into this realm.
Okay.
But when you die, your near death experiences, your brain is flooding it with DMT too. So that's the idea of it leaving.
So I wonder if that has to do with like seeing lights when you're dying, like people that
That would
have,
make a lot of sense.
excuse me, that have come back
Yeah.
and like said like I saw a light, and I don't know if it was heaven or what it was, but maybe that's the DMT leading you to whatever is next. I don't know. But
So I've got a pretty close buddy that doesn't want to do DMT because he says it's like an allotted amount. I'm gonna butcher what he's saying. That's why I'm not saying his name. But like, say you only get so many like pathways through that DMT corridor or something, and you don't want to like burn through it just dicking around.
Yeah, like what if you take it
Yeah.
and then what if you have a near-death experience?
Later on, when you actually die, they're like, "You've already been through here. You can't go again."
Yeah.
You're like, what? So maybe DMT is the key to the other dimensions for sure. I think that's so I was thinking about that too. So I don't know the actual chemical combination for DMT, but part of it is tryptamines, right?
I don't know.
If you look up what DMT stands for, it's
Oh,
like-
dimethyltryptamine. Yeah.
but tryptamines in it, and tryptamines are in cannabis.
Really?
And psilocybin and DMT are so very, very close. Like they're like almost identical too.
Well, and also you have a cannabinoid system in your body. Did you know that?
For recepting these tryptines.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or whatever the hell's in marijuana. That kind of made me think real hard as a young man.
so it just makes sense that we're all a part of the same thing, you know, like
Didn't
if-
people used to take tryptophan? I'm sorry.
no, it's all right. Like if that is in our body and weed is put here for people to use beneficially or recreationally, it just makes sense that it's here for us.
Oh yeah, it says right here the structure of tryptamine is a shared feature of certain aminergic neuromodulators, including melatonin, serotonin, bufatonin, and psychedelic derivatives such as DMT,
Wow.
psilocybin, silicon, and others.
Wow.
Yeah.
Crazy.
But they're all like the same like chemical bonds that's what makes them the psychedelics.
Yeah.
Is they are all this tiny little part of the molecules are all the same, and they're all tripping the same parts in your brain.
Mm-hmm.
They do it a little bit differently just because of their molecular makeup, but it's all the same points, and that's what I was trying to say. To me, it's like cannabis is like the smallest threshold of it. It's kind of like the layman's, like the recreational drug, right?
Mhm.
So like everybody's kind of tapping into it on the smallest scale, and then DMT is like the fentanyl. It's like
Yeah.
you're getting plunged
You
in.
got OD on this shit.
Yeah.
Have you ever heard so what is it when you take DMT but it's like the soupy version from a shaman? Ayahuasca.
Ayahuasca.
And so they've discovered that ayahuasca is actually a DMT trip.
Yeah, it's all the same thing.
But the tribes, have you heard the story of how they figured out how to make that?
No.
They said the plants told them, right?
Yeah, or either the plants or their ancestors, because it is like what they're using to get the actual DMT is metabolized and eaten by your
MAO, whatever it is.
No, you need an MAO inhibitor.
Inhibitor.
Yeah, which is another root that they found somewhere in the jungle. And so the scientists who went down there were like, how did you put these two things together seemingly impossibly? Because I think it originates in either South America or near the Amazon rainforest. So there's just so many different types of plants.
Ayahuasca's 2 parts.
Yeah, and for you to be able to find it and know that you have to brew
I
it
think
together.
Joel's right. I think it's all the same plant. One's just, it's like the stem and the root or something like that. Or the root and the leaf or something like that. But it's all in one plant. Stem and the leaf. Root and the leaf.
Is it really? I thought it was two different things. Well,
I mean, I'm not discrediting your story. It's still amazing that you find this stuff out, but I think it's all one plant.
You gotta have it together. Separate, it doesn't work.
Yeah.
no, I know you have to have both of them, but I thought it was two different plants. It might be the same plant. So I might be wrong.
Is it the acacia tree?
Hey, look, I made another sale. The acacia tree is high in DMT, I think.
But what's...
That's why they think when Noah saw the burning bush that he was burning an acacia tree and got high as shit on DMT or something.
That seems like the most logical explanation.
Does it?
Burning bush was just weed.
It's a plant-based.
Did I tell you my little anecdote about the winter solstice?
No, it's two different plants.
I don't mean to
I'm sorry.
aside.
I just found it, but let me answer this and then we'll go to your things. It's the Bonasteroposis capi vine with the leaves from the Psychotria verdis shrub.
So it's 2 different plants?
Yeah, which is like, what the fuck? Because you have a vine and a shrub and you took shit from them both, boiled them together, and then figured out it made you trip balls.
There's probably another plant that is both, but I think this ayahuasca, because I think the acacia tree is probably the leaf and the root, and then ayahuasca is, I think, a cactus.
Yeah, you just have to have a blood-brain in something to get across the blood-brain barrier, and then plant that's high in DMT. So what were you saying before?
I just had a little anecdote about the winter solstice. So in the book I'm reading, it's tying back the Christians were trying to bring in the pagans, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you have the winter solstice, which is a 3-day event. It's not just a 1-day event. You know what solstice is? It's when they're furthest away.
Yeah.
So in some parts of the world, it looks like the sun disappears. It goes below the horizon and doesn't come back up for 3 days. So you have the sun dying for 3 days,
Yeah.
and then being reborn on December 25th, 3 days later.
That's pretty hardcore.
That's it.
Well, no, it was a different story. No, I heard about this atheist scientist that, like, I don't know how they do it, but they use, I don't know how they do it, but he used science to show that story in the Bible actually happened, where the sun was gone for 3 days or whatever it was, and that made him basically give up atheism and become religious, because he was like, oh my god, it was God, it was.
No, I think it was a volcano. I think I've heard the story you're talking about. where it was dark for 3 days,
Mhm.
and he coincided with a natural event that would make it dark in that area for 3 days straight.
Yeah.
And I think the only thing that can do that is a volcano.
Oh well, he was like it was God.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, but
It's like
if it was a volcano, that'd be fucking crazy.
Well, you remember like 3, 4, 5 years ago when that volcano went off and you couldn't travel in between the United States and like you couldn't travel off the East Coast
That's insane.
because the
dude.
planes couldn't get through the
The
erupting of a
smoke,
volcano.
Yeah.
Was that the East Coast or the West Coast?
I think it was the East Coast.
What volcano would be on the East Coast?
I think it was one in like Iceland or
Oh, okay. That makes more sense.
Greenland or something.
That makes more sense.
Someone fact check me. I'm probably wrong.
Why is it just me and Drake? You're the one talking.
Oh,
That's what.
That might have been your first slip up, so
I was.
kudos.
Yeah, I've left it on the wide shot for a while though, so
That's true too.
it's a safety mechanism.
So yeah, that was I think all of my anecdotes.
Anecdotes.
Anecdotes. I can't make the C sound right now. Anecdotes. Anyways.
So we're going back to the normal time.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Tuesdays at 7.
Yep.
That was okay, right?
Yeah. Still works for me.
Until I have to change the date because I'm out of town or being a dipshit.
We got that
otherwise.
figured out. I mean, unless you're like physically working, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah. We'll be back to our original format too.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we're not opposed to doing more in-persons.
Yeah, we just got to start them like half an hour early.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'll help.
And they're going to probably mark special occasions.
Yeah.
So that makes sense.
Yeah,
like
we can.
season enders. Yeah.
Season enders.
Oh, did we even? I know we wrote down season 2, but did we write down like JFK again and
No.
9/11?
Because those
For
will be
the-
like season 6, 5 or 6.
You
If we're
think we'll
doing
be at
11,
season 5? Yeah, you're right.
we're
I guess
doing
by
12 episodes a season.
You're saying next year?
next year in September and then November.
It's this year.
Well, yeah. Oh, fuck yeah! It's already January. Yeah, this year
It's
in
11
September.
times 4, 44.
Yeah. It was 12 also.
Why would it be 12?
Because we're doing 11 episodes and then a recap.
Yep.
Cool.
Cool. All right. What else?
That's it. Y'all want to hit some
Plugs.
plugs?
I'll go first. Or no, yeah, I'll go first. You can find me on Twitch, Inked Beats. Same with Twitter. I'm not on there too often. I should get on there more. But Instagram, I'm on there way more. It's Inked_Beats on Instagram. Follow my YouTube channel, Inked Beats. I posted a few little videos and a couple little reels of some Call of Duty clips that I thought were pretty funny or pretty cool. Follow my band, Abel Delilah. We don't have any shows lined up right now, but we definitely have some new music on the way. So go listen to what we have on Spotify or wherever you get your music and get some merch, AbelDelilah.com. And just follow us on our website for everything that's upcoming this year. A lot of new stuff.
Thank you for that, Drake. Over to me. I do this show every Tuesday at 7 p.m. With my 3 friends right here.
2 friends.
2 friends. 3 of us are friends, though.
Split personality.
It's 7 p.m. on Tuesday nights to 9 p.m. ish, somewhere around there. Immediately after that, it gets uploaded to YouTube. So sometime tomorrow, that's immediate in my definition apparently, but some point tomorrow, this will get uploaded to YouTube. So if you missed it or want to rewatch it or recap it or snip it and tell us how wrong we were about something, please do so. Other than that, I stream video games on Twitch under Molasses probably once a week. No, that's maybe once a month at this point, but I'm out there. Find me. Rocket League. You want to challenge me to Rocket League or something? I'm down to do that.
Oh,
Over to you.
merch.
All right. I do the show every Tuesday like he does. Follow this show on Twitter and Instagram. And this is funnynutheroes.com is what it looks like.
Oh, hey, look.
I also do another show on YouTube called The Rolling Third where I hang out with my best friend in the entire fucking world, Adam. And we fuck around, and we've been starting to play games more, which I think is probably where we're headed. That's The Rolling Third at YouTube, all one word. You can find me at BOC Wasabi on Twitter, and there's a dead Instagram page. and there was something else. I don't remember what it was. Oh, Twitch.
Do y'all stream your D&D?
No. We've been recording it, but we'll get there. Anyway, yeah, we'll see y'all next week.
Hell yeah.
Yep, 7 p.m. right back here. Love you all.
Later.
Bye, guys.